If you live in Northeast Ohio, you already know that keeping a solid roof over your head, well, it's not just a figure of speech. It is a literal daily battle against the elements. Today, we're diving into this explainer to navigate the complex world of roof maintenance and replacement in Parma and its surrounding communities. We've distilled the absolute latest insights from local contracting experts into a survival guide, all to help you protect your home's most important asset. So, I want you to ask yourself a critical question right now. Is your roof actually ready for the next lake effect storm? Because let's be honest, the weather around here isn't just small talk with your neighbors. It's an active, relentless antagonist testing your home's armor every single day. Every season brings a brand new weapon to assault those shingles, and just crossing your fingers? Yeah, that is not a strategy. Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for diagnosing and solving these issues. First, Parma's brutal weather challenges. Second, spotting common roof problems. Third, Ohio's strict roofing standards. Fourth, the three-step roofing process. And finally, essential roofing questions answered.
All right, Section 1, Parma's brutal weather challenges. Let's break down the specific environmental villains that are basically assaulting your roof year-round. Think about it. From November through March, your roof is carrying massive, heavy lake-effect snow loads. Then you get those constant freeze-thaw cycles where ice expands, pushes the shingles apart, breaks their seal, and lets water just sneak right underneath. But hey, the assault doesn't stop in winter, right? Spring brings these ferocious straight-line winds designed specifically to peel back those weakened shingles. And summer heat? Well, assuming we actually get a summer, it literally bakes the asphalt until it cracks and curls. And on top of all that weather from the sky, from the ground up, Parma's common clay soil shifts with moisture changes. This causes foundation movement that actively stresses the actual roof framing, holding everything together. And you know, local geography and architectural history actually amplify these threats. A lot of Parma's beautiful post-war bungalows, ranches, and two-story colonials were built back in the 1950s and 60s. If your home is sitting near the West Creek Reservation or Ridgewood Lake, you're facing intense, extra moisture exposure from the water and the heavy tree cover. All that ambient humidity and organic debris accumulation, it massively accelerates the aging process of older roofs.
Moving right along to Section 2, spotting common roof problems.
Now let's talk about one of your absolute worst winter enemies, the ice dam. This isn't just a simple case of frozen gutters. It's a fascinating but honestly terrible chain reaction of physics. Heat escapes through a poorly insulated attic and melts the snow sitting high up on your roof. That melted water runs down to the cold eave, where it refreezes into a solid ridge of ice. That ridge traps even more melting water, backing it up directly under your shingles and right into your ceiling. It is literally a silent destroyer. So what are the visible symptoms that your roof's armor is actually failing? What should you look for? Well, look for shingles that are curling up at the edges or buckling right in the middle. You'll also want to check your gutters for heavy granular loss. Those little pebbles act like a shield against the sun's UV rays, and once they're gone, the asphalt deteriorates super fast. Also, keep an eye out for wind-lifted shingles that let rain drive right into the decking underneath. Watch for water stains around leaking pipe boots or failed flashing around your chimney. And lastly, if your attic feels like an absolute oven in the summer, you've got poor ventilation, which is basically baking your roof from the inside out. Spotting these early, that makes you an empowered, smart homeowner. Which brings us to Section 3, Ohio's strict roofing standards.
30 inches. That's the absolutely crucial number here. The Residential Code of Ohio mandates that in any area receiving an average snowfall of over 30 inches annually, and yes, that definitely includes all of Cuyahoga County, contractors are required to install a highly specialized waterproof ice barrier membrane.
But you know, it's not just about having the barrier, it's about exactly where it goes. This waterproof membrane has to extend up the roof at least 24 inches inside the exterior wall line. That exact measurement creates a bulletproof, waterproof zone precisely where those destructive ice dams form. And it works perfectly in tandem with modern synthetic underlayment to stop that melting snow from ever reaching your roof decking. Here is another incredibly vital number, 1/150. This is the ventilation golden rule. The standard calculation requires exactly 1 square foot of ventilation for every 150 square feet of attic space. This gets split perfectly between intake vents down at your soffits and exhaust vents up at the peak of your roof. This constant flowing air stops the heat buildup that prematurely ages your shingles. And when it comes to keeping those shingles attached during nasty spring storms, Northeast Ohio requires a minimum Class D wind resistance. So, what does that jargon actually mean for you? It simply means installers have to use 6 nails per shingle. And it gets more specific. Those nails must be driven perfectly. If a contractor overdrives the nail with their gun, it breaks the shingle seal and compromises the whole shebang. A quality roofing job is really all in these exact details.
Let's pivot to Section 4, the 3-step roofing process.
If you're stressing about the timeline, don't worry. The professional roofing ordeal really breaks down into 3 beautifully straightforward phases. Step 1 is the inspection and estimate, where experts document the damage and hand you a clear written plan. Step 2 is the actual installation or repair. And here's the really great news. Most average-sized home installations only take 1 to 3 days. Finally, Step 3 is the final inspection and warranty walkthrough. It really is that simple. And during that brief 1 to 3 day window, true professionals go out of their way to make sure the disruption to your life is totally minimal. They'll protect your expensive landscaping and garden beds by covering them with tarps. They'll communicate actively about any weather delays so you aren't just left guessing. And, this is incredibly important, they use these massive magnetic sweepers across your entire lawn and driveway to pick up stray nails. That way, your car tires and your pet's paws stay completely safe.
Finally, we arrive at Section 5, Essential Roofing Questions Answered.
This is basically your ultimate cheat sheet of takeaways, starting with the biggest question homeowners face. Do I repair or do I replace? Here's how you can make the most cost-effective decision. Repairing is best if the damage is totally isolated, say just a few wind-torn shingles or a minor flashing leak on a roof deck that's otherwise totally sound. But you really must replace if your roof is hitting that 20 to 25-year mark, if you're seeing widespread shingle curling, if there's extensive wood rot, or if you're battling multiple leaks all at once. At that point, patching a dying roof is just throwing good money after bad. Now, when you're looking at your roofing estimate, 4 primary factors dictate the bottom line. First is the size of your roof, which is measured in 100 square foot units called squares. That determines your base material and labor. Next is the pitch or slope. A steeper pitch means workers need specialized safety gear and move a lot slower, which bumps up the cost. Then you have materials, which create huge swings in price. Asphalt is a great upfront value, while metal costs more initially but lasts decades longer. And finally, complexity. Every chimney, skylight, or roof valley you have adds intensive labor time to the project. Let's rapid fire a few more essential local rules you absolutely need to know. First up, permits. Yes, they are always required in Parma to make sure all those strict codes we just covered are actually met. Second, insurance. Your homeowner's insurance will cover sudden accidental storm damage like wind and hail, but it will absolutely not cover a roof failing from old age or poor maintenance. Third, can you actually get a roof done in the winter? Yes, you can. Asphalt can be installed if it's about 40 degrees so the thermal seals activate, and metal can be installed even in freezing temps. And as for materials, heavy architectural asphalt is the local standard for durability, while metal is an incredible upgrade if you want to instantly shed that lake effect snow.
So as we wrap up this explainer, I want you to look at your home. Think about the seasons ahead. Is your roof truly armed to survive the next 2 decades of wind, ice, and sun? Or is it time to take action before the next deep permafreeze? Empower yourself with this knowledge, get a professional inspection on the books, and make absolutely sure your home's armor is locked down tight.